I'm James Andrews and I'm an arable reporter for Farmers Weekly. Today I'm southwest of Cambridge in a village called Hulton, and I'm here to visit our new Eastern Barometer farmer, Edd Banks. Could you just tell me a little bit about the area you farm here?
Well, we're on about just under 3,000 acres, mainly southwest of Cambridge and then a little bit northeast of Cambridge. All fairly heavy boulder clay on the main part of the farm, growing mainstay wheat with a break crop of either rape or spring beans. Spring beans on the ground which we identified with really bad blackgrass. Then on our northeast land, it's much more fen type land, so we have our sugar beet as our sort of break, with spring barley and wheat as these two cereal crops, all of which go into our storage at Camgrain.
Brilliant. And with Cambridge in the middle of your farming operation, that's obviously a bit of a challenge. How do you get around having two areas split?
Well, we farm all from the main base here at southwest of Cambridge, but we actually drive all our machinery straight to the centre of Cambridge. So the combine actually does go right through past the colleges and out the other side. Otherwise, it's a long way round. So we farm it as a satellite farm, but just means we make sure we get all our materials, our fertilisers, whatever, over there ready and go over and do it and blitz it and back here again. So it actually doesn't take us long at all. It only takes about 40 minutes in a tractor to get there. So it's not too bad.
And you said you got a problem with resistant blackgrass. What sort of management strategy do you have in place to control that?
We have a massive problem with blackgrass. I mean, I think it's definitely all around this area, certainly probably nationwide, and Atlantis just isn't hitting it anymore really. It does still do a job, and it does a great job on wild oats, but on the blackgrass it's terrible. So we definitely identified the fields which are bad. If they're in cereal crops, we delay drilling as late as we dare. This year our last drill was probably about the 5th of November. So we actually drilled some on about the 12th of January this year. So that shows what we're doing on that front, on the cereal front. On the break crop front, on the really bad areas, we drill spring beans. This allows us to spray off and cultivate and do as much as we can to the ground before Christmas, so in the autumn time, knock out the whole autumn flush and then get the spring beans in the spring.
So you said you're looking at guidance systems and you're hoping to put an RTK local network in place. So you tell me a little bit about how you're hoping that will work?
Well, at the moment I'm on the Omnistar HP signal, so we subscribe for all our units that have it. All our new tractors have auto steer ready on it, but we only have 2 computers to swap between the machines because of the subscription charges. We're now proposing between me and 6 other farmers to put up a network of up to 4 base stations to begin with, about a 20-kilometre zone right the way around Cambridge, which cover hundreds of farms. That then, between the 4 of us, with hopefully funding from EDA as well to help the setup cost, will mean that we can have as many units as we like for no extra cost each year. So once the initial setup cost has been paid for, we're then got no annual fee, which is great. And then we get the increased accuracy, we get the year-on-year repeatability, quicker uptake on signal, and hopefully no part of any of our farms, no matter where we go, if we get new bits of land, is covered by our signal. That was the problem by if only one farmer went on his own, set up his own system. If we get a new bit of land on an outlying area, it then hasn't got its RDK signal. So we're trying to get it so the whole area is covered. And then in future we can expand it, maybe see how the system goes, and other farmers can subscribe into it.
So you're farming quite a large area with a small number of men. How do you sort of improve the efficiency so that you can do that effectively with such a limited staff?
I mean, definitely the GPS has improved efficiencies massively. So pass on pass, we're only overlapping by small amounts. Tiredness of the drivers is not there because at the end of the day all they've been doing is watching the machine, not the driving. So we've improved efficiency that way. We've got 2 big cultivator tractors, the Quad Track and the Magnum 310. They do all the cultivation and all the drilling. And I think with something like the Quad Track, it's doing absolute maximum efficiency. You're running on probably no more than 2% track slip. And you've got big, large machinery. So we've got 8 metre Versat Rapide drill and a 6 metre top down. They're covering big acreages a day. I mean, we can drill up to probably 350 acres in a day if we really push it. And cultivation wise, anything up to probably 150 acres, 200 acres if we really had big days. So we can cover the ground quickly and efficiently, and by having only 2 big cultivator tractors we only need 2 men effectively for that, but plus all the harvest staff, so a couple extra casual students to do the corn carding and somebody for the combine. So it's limited nearly by machines.
Great. And you're making use of redundant farm buildings. You're setting up a wedding venue, I see. What are your plans for that venue?
Hopefully get bigger and better. I mean, we're only on a temporary events licence at the moment, so we're only allowed 12 functions a year, but we are fully booked for this year, and we're half booked for 2011 already, and that's with no advertisement, which is fantastic. Hopefully, if South Cambs District Council will let us the planning application, we will go to unlimited in numbers and increase, and there'll be some big building work on the farm to redevelop the areas and do it up. It's in a lovely old listed tithe barn. And hopefully that'll be a good extra income to the farm, irrelevant of wheat prices. So like now, wheat prices being in the late 80s, if my wedding venue is fully booked, then well, it all brings an extra income. Just like we have a set of offices we built in old redundant farm buildings, again, irrelevant of farm prices, they still bring an income, which all helps. And what's the point of having a barn or buildings which you don't use just sitting there idle? Might as well use them.
Brilliant. And you bale all your own straw. Could you just tell me a bit about the markets you sell that straw into?
Yeah. I bale all my second wheat straws. First wheat straw, sorry. Second wheat, where we drill into Aussie rate, we don't bale it. But all that straw is then baled and chased in by a super chaser or by ourselves, stacked centrally, and then we probably sell probably 60% to livestock guys up in Shropshire, and then 40% to the power station in Ely. And then with more power stations coming online at Sleaford and other ones proposed to be built, then I think that'll probably increase. And hopefully with the demand of straw going up because of them, then the prices will go up as well. But that's how we split it at the moment. So all year round it's slowly being loaded out from those stacks. We don't have any actual barns to store those straws, so we have them outside stacks. We just have to accept the top layer. It goes as tops, they call them, so they are for mushrooms or compost or whatever. So you cover your costs on them, but you don't make any money on those ones, but then you don't have any infrastructure cost of barns.
Brilliant. And you went into sugar beet 3 years ago. How have you found that? Has it been a useful addition to the farm?
It's actually been great, actually. I mean, we bought in when the price being paid was £19 a tonne, and all the factories up north were being closed, so we got all our machinery for absolute no cost really. So we've got our own 6-row self-propelled harvester, an 18-row drill. We lift it ourselves. We get a contractor to clean it and load it to save us the time and energy on that. And it's been great, and we're slowly learning, improving the system. And this year our average tonne per hectare was about 69, which for me is ideal. When you're aiming for 70 and obviously above if it's a perfect situation. But as we're only new to the system, we're learning and getting things better. And year on year we've improved on the tonnage per hectare. So yeah, it's worked well. And this year with the price being where it is, it's actually probably going to be one of our most profitable crops, I would suggest. Yeah.
Great, thanks very much. Right, Ed and I are standing in a crop of cordial winter wheat, and Adrian behind us is spreading ammonium sulphate. So you say the second dose is going to be urea. Why are you switching to urea?
Really, just a value for money. I mean, it's 46% nitrogen versus ammonium nitrate at 34 and ammonium sulphate of about 21. So you get a good hit of nitrogen for less money really at the end of the day. We're getting the spread pattern. We've had the spreader tested this year actually, and the urea spread the best out of the lot, surprisingly.
Oh, right.
So we're confident that we can get the spread pattern over 32 metres. You've got to pick your days, don't want to be too windy.
Is that granular?
That's granular urea, yes. So you're getting, you don't have to put such high rates on to get your percentage nitrogen.
So we've now driven through Cambridge and we're northeast of the city, and Ed's about to do some drilling. What are you going to put in here, Ed?
This is going to be spring barley. There's 140 acres in this square field here. That's going to be tipple barley, spring barley. That will then get harvested and straight to cam grain for them marketing.
Brilliant. And you had sugar beet in here before, is that
Yeah, that's
correct?
right. Yeah, we did. This one yielded 71 tonnes a hectare, this field, which is great.
So these biosolids behind us, I mean, how much of this do you put on your ground?
They do about 800 to 1,000 acres a year. So 1 year in 3, on your second week we get it, spread on it. And they do give or take about 20 tonnes a hectare.
Brilliant. And what sort of nutrient benefit do you get from it?
Fantastic. I mean, you get a large amount of phosphate. You get first and second year amounts of nitrogen as well, obviously decreasing over the years, but you get out of it, it's 23% of it is available nitrogen first year.
Brilliant. And what sort of cost that you haven't
It's going up, but started relatively cheap and now is about 350 a tonne.